Okay, everybody, do me a favor. Stick with this video. It's a little bit rambly, but I think it's fun, and I do at one point bring up the greatest movie of all time, The Last Dragon. Ooh, yeah. So stay tuned for that. Thanks a lot, everybody, and I'll see you at the end. Or now. Beard Gang. Check it out. Got a beard on my face. Beard Gang. Yeah. We doing this thing. Okay, it's not even really a beard. Like, I think about people like the former hosts of Epic Mealtime. You know, what is his name? Man, it is crazy how big those guys used to be and how much they've fallen off. I feel like if you look back at the history of YouTube, very few people were able to stay as popular as they were, especially when they had a big boom and then just kind of fizzled over time because they ran out of ideas. I think the only person I can really think of is like killing it right now is still my boy, Niga Higa. He is the beastiest of them all. Anyway, that's not the point of today's video. I don't know why I even intro like that. Today we're going to talk about Iron Fist. His hand is yellow. And a lot of people tend to crap on this show. I've had a lot of friends who've written posts on Facebook like, you know, I'm watching Iron Fist and I hate every second of it, or I have to watch Iron Fist because I saw all the other videos, or rather shows like Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, then Daredevil featuring Punisher, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, if you watch one, you have to watch them all. And this one's getting a really, really hard run through the rug. I don't think anybody even says that. Run through the rug! What does that even mean? What do any of these ever mean? Like, when people were like, you know, he really screwed the pooch on this one. Does that mean he literally screwed a pooch? Or did he make love to a dog? YouTube restricted viewers listening, I'm just being real careful what I say here. But the fact is that this show is getting some poor ratings, and I've watched it. I'm up to episode 8 right now, and I'll tell you this, that there is one core reason why everybody hates this show so much. There are little tiny reasons why people are like, it's not that good, and I'm going to tell you why that is. So let's get into it. So, now, first of all, let me just be real with you and say that this show is entertaining. It is fun, and the action, when it does happen, is good. This is probably one of the more action-packed series of all the Netflix series. Now, Daredevil started off real slow, and you were waiting for something cool to happen. When it finally did happen, it was epic. It was amazing. There's like one fight scene where you're like, oh my god! You know, Luke Cage had a few moments. Jessica Jones had a few moments here and there. They were more like drama-based in those shows. But this one is all about, you know, like fighting, and he's touted as one of the greatest fighters in the world. And you expect like the best action you've ever seen, but instead you get really choreographed fights. Like every single fight, even the training fights where they're supposed to be choreographed, look extra choreographed. Like nothing here felt natural. I think a lot of people are just going into this like, you know, these other shows have this raw, you know, this hard edge, this dirty, this gritty feel to them. Like the battles in, I said it before, Daredevil, the battles in Luke Cage, the fights in Jessica Jones, they all felt organic, but this all feels staged every single moment of it. I feel like I'm watching WMCA Masters, if you remember that show. Think back to that show. It wasn't that cheesy, but it's close. If you've never seen that before, go watch that show. It's on Netflix. I'll put a link in the description down below. It's amazing. It's drama. It's stupid, but it's fun. And it's a staple of my like Saturday morning life when I used to watch Fox Kids. But anyway, it feels like that. It just feels super fake. And yes, you can suspend belief because this is, of course, a TV series. But I don't know, man. I just expected more. And then, of course, there is the pacing, which is terrible. Terrible pacing. It is so the first 2 episodes could have easily have been 1 episode. They wasted so much time on so many things that didn't need to be focused on. I mean, I don't know. Like, there's even the homeless guy. And this is the biggest spoiler is going to be in this entire video, by the way. I'm not spoiling anything for you. There's the homeless guy that Danny Rand and befriends, and you think that relationship is going to go somewhere, that's going to mean something, that's going to be impactful in Danny's life as he lives on the streets. But instead, the guy just dies of a heroin or drug overdose. And I guess it gives him some kind of reason to fight, but he doesn't really ever think back or look back to that guy when heroin becomes a arcing issue on the show. I think they would initially just bring it up immediately, and they don't. He doesn't go like, man, you know, I knew a guy. He helped me out. You know, he had this problem, and I want to stop it. That would give him more motivation. But nope. didn't even think about it once. I didn't, at least, maybe they'll call back to it later as I finish the show, but as of now, they have not brought it up once, and it would have made sense to bring it up immediately to give him an entire reason to get a dog in this fight beyond just being a good person. And of course, the next issue, of course, is going to be really Danny himself. Danny is a great character. I don't think that his acting is bad at all. I forget the guy's name who's playing him. He's doing a good job. I actually like the guy. It does make me call back to shows like Arrow and The Flash, where, you know, your main character is good, but he just could be a little bit better. And I think that if you allow him time, like you have the Arrow and the Flash characters to grow on you, he will. I mean, things pick up for the show around episode 5 and 6, I'll say. So if you're watching the show, you can read really any Wikipedia rundown of the first, 4 episodes and spare yourself the time and then just pick it up right from there, because that's when everything starts getting crazy and really starts pulling you in. The drama starts enhancing and it feels like a completely different show towards the onset of those episodes. I mean, to be real, I even really enjoy the villains, and they're of course doing this typical thing that a lot of the Marvel series have done, which is they will do a shift in villains partway through the show, and I won't say what it is or why, but it's totally intriguing. And I'll say that's the thing that keeps me watching the show, is that it is really intriguing. I want to know what people's real motivations are. They put enough mystery out there to leave you wanting more and to get you to keep watching. So even if you're kind of like, man, this thing is paced terribly, man, these fights are really choreographed, man, the acting is so uneven, because sometimes the acting's really good, sometimes the acting is just, what's happening? You know? Even though those things exist, you'll still be intrigued enough to keep it going, because it's not as terrible as everyone else is saying it is. Everyone's really lauding this thing, and I'm like, it's not that bad. It's fun, okay, guys? It's freaking fun. But I will say another thing that people are probably really holding on to is that this followed up Luke Cage, which was phenomenal. Luke Cage was absolutely phenomenal. It was great. I made a review of it. Go check it out. Link in the description down below, like I always say. But I mean, if you follow up something as great as Luke Cage, as stylistic as Luke Cage, as thematic as Luke Cage, with something that's just kind of ordinary. I think if Iron Fist would have came, if Iron Fist would have came after Daredevil season 2, I think people would have taken to it more, because season 2 of Daredevil wasn't that good in my honest opinion. It's about on par with this. If it would have followed Jessica Jones, it would have been a good switch up. You know, it would have been like, okay, let's have a more lighthearted but still action-packed show, follow the really depressing one. But following Luke Cage, it's hard to really say that this is a great show, because you're just comparing them back to back. But last but not least, there is one core reason that everybody seems to hate this show, and I'll say that it's still people who are a little bit butthurt and upset. I won't say butthurt, that's what I mean to say, but upset about the fact that Danny Rand wasn't made into an Asian person, because as you watch the show, you can see there's no reason this guy couldn't have been turned Asian. Now, you know, if you read the books and whatnot, that Danny Rand is of course a white kid, and they just kept him with the source material, which is not a bad thing. I'm okay with it. It does not bother me, but a lot of people complain, and it was a big freak out that they could have course corrected this with the show, since they're already deviating so much from the other characters. Seriously, go look up anybody on the show. Look at the Meachums. They are nothing like they are in the books at all whatsoever, not even a little bit. They've done this for pretty much all of the Marvel series, but I think people are just kind of going, yeah, let's get a freaking Asian Iron Fist, because really there's nothing about Danny that makes him have to be white. He could have been an Asian dude who just kicked butt and, had his adventure, or whatever you want to call it. And I do see that starkly as you watch the show, but that is also, in my opinion, a credit to the ability of the writers to not make his race a big deal, which is a thing I want to applaud, because I really enjoy the fact that he could really just be anybody. He could be any race, any color, any creed, because that doesn't make him who he is. I actually recently seen this, rewatched this movie I used to watch growing up called The Last Dragon. I'll show you real quick, since we're making this video. Hello. Now this is a show in which there are kung fu fights. They're great. This is Bruce Leroy, obviously Leroy being a black name, Bruce Lee being the name that they're kind of parodying here. But Bruce Leroy, who fights Shonuff in a great campy style action movie. It is great. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. If you've never seen it, you should go check it out. But everything about Bruce Leroy was not stereotypically black in the 80s. He was literally like the kindest guy ever. He wasn't very hip. He didn't know how to dance. He never made love, you know? But it didn't matter because he had honor. He had a lot of these, I guess, you know, stereotypically Asian mannerisms about him. He was very quiet and calm and nice. The future. And so like all of that was a testament to the writers being able to not make his race who he is. It's their ability to write him as a person first and a race second. And I think a lot of people are mad about that, and they really wish they could have gotten their Asian Danny Rand. But I don't think it's a big deal, and I think it is what it is. Let's leave it how it is. The character is who the character is. This is coming from the guy who defended the black L in the Netflix, what do you call it? The Netflix Death Note movie, which I'm the guy who's like, yeah, they made L black, and everyone was freaking out. But I'm like, guys, have you seen the guy who plays him? Go watch Atlanta for a second. Atlanta shows Keith, who's gonna play L in the Death Note deal, and he is really awkward and really funny and a little bit off. And I think if he brings that same element to L, we'll all be happy. I do. I can see him easily being the guy like in the corner eating candy with his knees up. I can see it. But let's just first hope that it's executed well, because this Iron Fist show, apparently to everyone else, was not. But I have a different opinion, but I want to know yours. Do you guys love this show? Do you hate it? Why do you hate it? What is your biggest number one gripe with Iron Fist? Let's talk about it down below. Let's have a conversation. My name is Chris. This is #KillChris. I do videos 5 times a week. Come back tomorrow for another video. I'll be doing a live stream as I do every single Wednesday at 8 p.m. And I can't wait, because this is my favorite time of the week. I get to talk to you guys, interact with you guys, laugh, answer questions, play video games sometimes. I'm thinking about doing Jackbox. I don't know, let me know if you want that. But yeah, let me know down below your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and how you feel about the Fist of Fury. What is that? Iron Fist, is that a sex toy? That's what they said. Okay, now I'm getting age-gated. Oh no, YouTube rain on me. Whatever, who cares anymore? All right, everybody, I made a video yesterday, go check that out. Videos coming down the pipeline every week, every day. I can't stop. Hopefully I get this job. I have an interview that I'm going on. So, wish me luck on that too. Thanks for everybody though. It's been Chris. Ever use teleport.